Hello and welcome back to the Creatively Challenged podcast for Monday, November 27th. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Nolan, and I'm here alongside Dan Stewart. How you doing today, Dan?
Well, I'm full of turkey and mashed potatoes and green bean casserole and sweet potatoes. And
Did you say sweet potatoes already?
I thought it said mashed potatoes.
No, you did. I'm just insane.
Oh. Well, we're recording on Black Friday, ahead of Monday because, as I mentioned last week, there's a big state championship football game tomorrow, and then on Sunday we're headed back down to Missouri for the final 2 weeks of our semester down there.
Yeah.
So we're recording today. Ryan, did you go Black Friday shopping? Either last night or today?
I didn't, and I went for years at Walmart, and it was like pretty much. It was crazy the first few years, like where it's that thing you always see on like the news channels where like people are getting trampled. No one got trampled in the one I went to, but it was like kind of chaos. And then each year Walmart kind of got the reins of how they should kind of quarrel people in. And what?
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but last night at Best Buy, there was evidence of people waiting in line. They had the divider things, those metal divider things that are always at parades. Like they had those to corral people in, and there were chairs out there, and I just like thought of the Madman Mario thing when you.
No, that's a whole other
when
thing.
you said Walmart.
No one knows what that is.
No, but if you want to know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube and type in Madman Mario. It's like something that's kind of funny, but isn't.
It's a fun clip.
You said Walmart last night when I was playing Mario Kart. For whatever reason, in the new Mario Kart, there are just coins just littering the track.
I've heard about that.
I just thought of like, if you're going to leave out all these coins, why don't you just build a fucking Walmart? That doesn't make any sense, but it just made me think of that. All right, but...
So Walmart's kind of, and I would say other stores then, if Best Buy's got these walls up for people, is that they're kind of getting the hang of it, and there's a little more civility to Black Friday and not as much trampling. But you said you went to the mall, didn't you?
I did. Before I went to Best Buy, I went to the mall with my sister and my cousins to just kind of people watch. And then they ended up actually wanting to go buy shit at like Victoria's Secret and all that noisy lingerie stores. And, you know, God bless all the boyfriends out there on Black Friday who had to like go stand in that store with like a bunch of chicks running around grabbing thongs and panties and bras and whatnot.
Well, it's fun because there's only a few times in your life when you're at the mall with your significant other and they say, oh, I want to go into Victoria's Secret, and then you're allowed in. It's like you're on the list for the first time ever, and you get to see what's in there.
Like I couldn't imagine, like
it's amazing.
I mean, you're in a relationship. Like, would you ever like just go to the mall, like go into Victoria's Secret and like buy her shit?
If I knew sizes, which I don't, I would if I knew the sizes I needed to get. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Want to know what I'd do? I'd just be like, you know what, honey, here, take this money, go buy whatever the hell you want. I don't want to buy you like a bra size too big, and then you're pissed at me for trying to do something nice.
You need the sizes. Yeah. So are you happy that Black Friday's not just this mess?
I guess, yeah, it wasn't out of control, but it was crowded, but it wasn't out of control. I mean, and I guess that's just kind of what I like. I've never been in the environment where, like, I've seen, like, fat people just, like, knocking people over and, you know, like, eating each other and you know.
That's the best part. I mean, you work up kind of an appetite even after Thanksgiving sometimes. You just got to eat somebody.
I know, and you're just craving human flesh.
Yeah. Well, for the uninitiated here, each and every week on Creatively Challenged, we talk entertainment news, review a movie, and discuss random topics that we bring to this $34 card table. Except today, in our Chicago special, we're at a bar. But not like an actual bar, just like a bar in my basement.
Yeah, we were here last week.
Yeah, I we didn't even do the whole intro last week. We're really off.
What do you mean?
I just said, like, this is Creatively Challenged. It's Danny. Hi. And then we did the rest of the show. I didn't say, like, the what we are part, but that's not important. We got some news, don't we?
Yeah. So, earlier this week, Jude Law, who has recently been cast as as Albus Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts series. Jude Law also plays Watson in the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. But Jude Law is a fine British actor, and he's handsome. But he just scored a role in Marvel's Captain Marvel, which will star Brie Larson as Captain Marvel herself. But apparently he's playing a role of a mentor to Captain Marvel, and many are speculating that he will play Captain Marvel, who is just Captain Marvel, but with another L and a dash in his name so that you pronounce it Marvel. And I don't read Captain Marvel comics. I'm not really familiar with the character, and I don't know the story, but Jude Law is a great actor. Brie Larson's a great actress, and this movie's probably going to be good. But I mean, I like the casting of Jude Law. I mean, this guy's on top of the world right now. He's playing Dumbledore, and he's going to be in the Marvel franchise. What do you think about
it? So it's not confirmed what his role is?
No, not yet.
He's awesome. I don't think there's anything more to say. I would want to know what role he's in because he's amazing as a villain, but he's also good as in a supporting role like with Watson. The guy can do everything. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
That is interesting. You mentioned Captain Marvel. Now, I don't know if there's an actual connection between the two characters. I can't honestly say.
They wear the same things. They wear
Okay.
the same symbol on their chest, the little fire thing, and then the red and black suit.
Well, he's worn different stuff too. I don't know. It's always been different through different.
Because
continuities.
I saw the speculation, and I saw the casting thing, and then I googled Captain Marvel because that's what people were speculating, and like the first 4 pictures that show up of Captain Marvel are like the him wearing the same outfit that Captain Marvel does.
Okay.
So I was just like, oh shit.
That'd
And
be
if he's
kinda
gonna
cool.
play that mentor role, then maybe they do the almost like Ant-Man, where Hank Pym is obviously kind of the more famous Ant-Man in comics, but then they went with Scott Lang, who is Paul Rudd's character, and
Yeah.
they just kind of have a mentor role there.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I like that. And it's funny, Captain Marvel with the hyphen. There's
Yeah.
Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel.
That was just the most uncreative day at the office over at Marvel.
Yeah, before Captain Marvel was under the helm of Carol Danvers, who is the character we're going to follow in this movie, Captain Marvel with the hyphen was of the Kree race, which is the blue people from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And he isn't in comics anymore because in comics he had cancer and died.
Oh.
Which is odd. Most people get decapitated or they'll get blasted off a spaceship, and he just had cancer.
Like Spider-Man, man.
Spider-Man had cancer?
No, he got decapitated, didn't it? Well, not really. He got his head ripped off his body, right?
When?
by Thanos, right?
I don't know. I haven't read everything in Marvel or DC.
Oh.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, there's a universe where Peter Parker dies.
Oh,
And he gets
Jesus.
his fucking head ripped off of his body.
Poor guy. He's been through too much.
I know. So I hope that doesn't happen to... Well, actually, it might.
It's anybody's
Actually,
guess.
that'd be incredibly graphic for a Disney Marvel movie if Tom Holland gets his head ripped off.
I'd like that.
Well, and then Doctor Strange rewinds it because he's got the Timey Stone.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But Jude Law, good casting.
Yeah.
Good casting. Can't argue with that. I think that's good news.
He has sex with Cameron Diaz in that one movie. And Kate Winslet has sex with her maid or something.
Man, I could not tell you, Dan.
What
I could tell
I
you,
watched this movie over. I'll figure it out.
All
You
right.
can go on.
what I
Next
could
news
tell you,
topic.
Dan, is that Seth Meyers is set to host the Golden Globes. How do you feel about this?
Well, I don't really like his show. I mean, he's the after Jimmy Fallon guy now. Mm-hmm. And the The thing is he was never good after SNL when he was doing weekend updates. But this is something that can, boost him up. I mean, everybody knows his show's not that popular. So
It's really not. And
it kind of smells, actually.
the things that usually get the most buzz are his political coverages, and they're kind of good. But I think that they're kind of playing it safe with Seth Meyers. Like he was more better as a writer when he was on SNL, if anything, and all the other shows he's been involved with.
Well, Weekend Update was good when he was.
Yeah.
On
It was probably like
him and Stefan.
Yeah, it's a lot worse off now, I'd say, than anything.
I don't mind the new guys, but like I mean, overall, the SNL cast isn't as good as it was. Like 6 years ago.
But that's the thing with SNL is that everyone romanticizes the previous cast and so on until you get to the original. Everyone does that. Now they'll say, when we say like 08 was the best, they'll say, oh, no, it was the 90s with Farrell.
Nobody was better at Weekend Update than Chevy.
Yeah. Well,
No,
even that's shut down a lot.
Nobody was better at Weekend Update than Norm.
Yeah.
Nobody was better at Weekend Update than Jimmy Fallon. Nobody was better at Weekend Update than Amy Poehler.
She was good on it too.
Nobody was better at Weekend Update than Seth Meyers.
I could disagree with that.
Nobody was better at Weekend Update than these new guys.
I don't like them. But I think that they're kind of playing it safe because Ricky Gervais had hosted 4 times previously, and he was hilarious because he just did shocking jokes, and everyone had a fun time because everyone was drinking. And I think Seth Meyers is just going to kind of be more just kind of surface level jokes, and it's going to be just
that's going to
safe.
suck because nobody can take a fucking joke anymore.
Yeah, and Ricky Gervais was doing heavy-handed like jokes that were clever and sometimes a little shocking. It was a good balance, but this is all just going to be safe stuff, I bet.
I found the movie where Cameron Diaz has sex with Jude Law.
What is it?
It's called The Holiday.
What's that about?
2006. 2 women troubled with guy problems swap homes in each other's countries where they each meet a local guy and fall in love.
Well, that's cute.
So Kate Winslet goes to America and she falls in love with Jack Black, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And then Cameron Diaz goes to England and falls in love with Professor Dumbledore. And I don't know. I watched it with my mom. It was a pretty good movie.
That sounds fun.
It's a 6.9 on IMDb. That's a pretty nice score. What do you think?
That's like if something's from if something's at a 7 on IMDb, that's usually like a decent watch. But also, IMDb isn't always totally a useful rating scale. Sometimes people kind of spam it if there's a big hate for it.
Well, yeah, like the people who like rated The Mummy like a 9. Like, actually, it's not that bad.
People said that? No.
Yeah, I mean, The Mummy's like not at a 0 on IMDb. There are some people out there who are trying to help it out, but I'm prone to believe that like directors and producers on the movie like make their own like fake like fan IMDb accounts just to like boost its score or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people could spam that stuff, especially when it's just based on anyone clicking it. It's not as reliable. But back to the Golden Globes.
No.
Do you watch them every year?
Yeah. I mean, they're not as like big as the Oscars clearly, but it's fun to watch because of the actors being able to drink and somebody says a joke that like kind of lands and it's really funny, and then the next day they're like,
yeah,
oh somebody made a joke.
It's a good time.
Yeah, but Get Out, which we scratched off our news list last week, is being put in the comedy or musical category, and that's kind of what happened in The Martian last year, and everybody kind of made a big joke about that. And then Matt Damon got snuck onto the Jimmy Kimmel set by Ben Affleck.
Was that in response to the Golden Globe controversy at all?
No, it's because Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel have like a long-running rivalry where Jimmy Kimmel doesn't want Matt Damon showing up on his show, and I don't know.
All right. Well, what's our next news then?
I'm just not as excited about Seth Meyers hosting the Golden Globes.
No, I'm not for it.
Yeah. So our next news piece is something I saw. I only just figured out about watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Actually, no. Shit. The blank Thanksgiving Day Parade.
It's not Macy's anymore?
No, it is. I just don't want to give Macy's free ad time on our air when they're not paying us.
We're not making any money.
Yeah. You hear that? Blank C's Thanksgiving Day Parade. If you want to hear our name or hear your name on our show, better see that ad space. All right, but during the Blank C's Thanksgiving Day Parade, a new musical coming out on Broadway debuted with a song during the parade, and it's the SpongeBob Broadway musical. And Ryan, this just looks fucked up. Because SpongeBob, he's not in like a big spongy costume. It's just a human man wearing a white shirt, red tie, brown pants.
Wait,
and
really?
His hair is like yellow.
So the costumes are final. That's it. It's a guy.
Sandy is like a black woman with like an afro. Patrick's just a fat guy with a pink shirt. Squidward's some tall, lanky motherfucker with blue hair. Like, it just looks weird.
Are they taking an adult angle on it? I mean, if they're not doing costumes, it must not be for kids. It couldn't be.
It is.
I'm interested in this. I want to hear more about this.
It is. No, like, well, I mean, like all the songs, like some of the songs are written by like fucking Aerosmith and like the Plain White T's and like
What?
Yeah, like the set list is like crazy and it's getting a lot of like, you know, recognition and whatnot. But like, I am not on board for this. It looks creepy. Let me show you a picture of the SpongeBob guy.
Everything that you're saying about this makes me more interested in the production of it. I mean, what are they going for?
I don't know. Like, people are freaked. Like, I don't think this is going to be received positively. Like, it has to be the greatest musical of all time if it wants to be like.
I don't want to watch a video right now on an audio show.
It's not a video. I'm just showing you what it looks like. And Gary is a woman with fucking tennis balls on her head.
Oh, it's not. It doesn't look as simple as I thought, as you mentioned. But I mean they got a Macy's Day Parade float.
It's stupid.
It looks rather low budget.
Yeah, but it's like sponsored by Nickelodeon.
Yeah, this is odd.
Like, I just don't see that's Squidward.
I gotta see more about this later.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is bad radio. You guys just have to look it up yourselves. But look up the SpongeBob musical, and it is the most terrifying thing I've like ever seen in my entire life.
That's not bad.
Look at Patrick. He's just a fat guy. Like, if that's all they needed to play Patrick, I could be Patrick.
It looks like a high school production of SpongeBob.
Basically.
Yeah. But if they got a float at the Macy's Day Parade,
The blank C's.
the parade,
Yeah.
that one parade,
Yeah, that one.
it's clearly got something going on, or just a lot of money behind it, even though they don't have costumes. That's why I'm so interested.
I mean, if like Aerosmith is writing music for it, and they're gonna be like really creepy, and Nicktoons is behind it, and they think it's like a. Ooh, speaking of Nicktoons, you know, remember Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
There's a Hey Arnold movie premiering tonight on Nickelodeon.
Oh, I didn't know that came out
Hey
tonight.
Arnold hasn't been on Nickelodeon in like 20 years.
Yeah, they're bringing back a few. They're doing a revival of one of the old cartoons. I don't know what they're doing, delving in back to their old properties, but it's interesting because there are the nostalgic people that were kids during the 90s that now want to watch these. There's an audience.
They gotta bring back Rugrats.
Yeah, it'd be cool. They had good movies.
They just gotta stop making SpongeBob musicals and go back to.
They're wasting their money.
They gotta go back to 2000 to like 2004 SpongeBob. That was the prime of SpongeBob.
Well, Dan, we're talking about kids here. Have I got a story for you related to kids? I'm gonna go jump off a bridge after that kind of transition.
Well,
okay. Well,
I've got a story for you about kids. John Wayne Gacy actually dressed up like a clown, and he.
You put a tomahawk right in the momentum of my segue here, Dan.
Oh, well, he raped and ate kids and then killed them, pilgrims. But what about your kids?
Illumination Entertainment, the creators of Despicable Me and The Life of Pets, and no other examples of Minions, I guess, but that's Despicable Me. They got the rights to a new animated Grinch movie, and I think it's in good hands. Illumination seems to be doing pretty good work. I wasn't too fond of The Life of Pets, but seeing the Grinch return to animated form is probably the best thing we have going for the Grinch property. because the Jim Carrey version was very horrible.
I fucking love the
You
Grinch.
like that one?
Yeah, it's great.
It's terrifying.
It's directed by Ron Howard.
It's nightmare fuel.
Oh, it's funny.
You think the new Han Solo movie is gonna be like the Grinch movie?
Yeah, it's gonna be just like it.
Okay. that I don't know how any kids could have watched that and not like became murderers, because that stuff was messed up, man. It was terrifying.
One of the most clever jokes in the history of cinema was made during the Grinch.
What was that?
Okay, so it's after he like terrorizes like the town after like the mayor like shaves or like brings out the razor and he like remembers like he shaved his head and then whatever, like he's terrorizing the town and then he tries to get a taxi and he's like, oh, taxi, and he the taxi drives by and he's like, it's because I'm green, isn't it?
That's pretty good.
And it makes me laugh every time, and it's so fucking funny. And I just like I know Jim Carrey kind of like went off the deep end, and he's a little fucking nuts now. Although I speculate that he always has been. Like I just in terms of modern Grinch movies, like that's it. Like I don't need a new animated one. Like and if they're probably not going to alter the story, like do we need a brand new like Grinch story?
Well, I mean,
Or like a new retelling of the classic tale? I don't think we do.
no, but Hollywood keeps remaking things.
I know, but
Yeah, we don't need it, certainly. I just don't think this is the worst people to be doing it if anyone's going to make it.
no.
So,
But I don't need like Ed Helms to be the voice of the Grinch now.
did Illumination make the Lorax movie? Oh, I think they did.
Well, no, that was just Dr. Seuss's studio. I mean,
They have-
maybe
I mean-
he's got a big thing in like DreamWorks, I think.
Okay, well, that movie was bad.
Because DreamWorks made Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I think they made Horton Hears a Who as well as
Okay.
the Lorax. I never saw the Lorax.
Dude, it was bad.
Was it?
I watched it in theaters and I regret it. I got it on a coupon, though. I got the tickets on a coupon, so, like, the only thing I wasted was my time.
They gotta make a
Never
movie.
gonna get
They're
that
gonna
back.
make a movie about redfish or one fish, two fish, redfish, bluefish.
Is that a good tale? I don't remember that too well.
It's not really a story. It's just about rhyming.
That'll go well.
Want to know how the whole Seuss estate and the DreamWorks and the Illumination goes down? The shitter.
Huh.
They make a Green Eggs and Ham movie.
Why would that be?
Like, do you see that being turned into like an hour and a half long film?
I think they could if they put like a little bit of plot into like why there's green eggs and ham. They could make a different like character struggle. They could really stretch it out if they wanted
Yeah, I
to make a
know.
meal out of this shit. You know, I think they could if they wanted to.
Maybe we should get on that.
I don't want to. I got no business with Dr. Seuss.
Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat's funny.
You like that movie?
I don't like it. It's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in so long, but I mean, it looks
Like,
it looks
it's-
bad.
Like it's like I mean it's terrible, but
Yeah.
like it's funny. Like
the jokes actually have value.
Like Mike Myers is hilarious.
Okay, maybe I'll give it another shot one of these days.
Yeah.
I'm not too enthused
I
though.
was watching that on our couch like a couple
I remember.
months ago. Yeah, I sent you a Snapchat.
I went to bed because you put it on. I was like, I don't need this.
I just remember, dude, he's so funny. All right,
Well, that's our news.
that is our news.
Now, Dan,
there are a couple of breaking news topics, but we're gonna let them play out next week. But what we're going to do now is do another recurring segment that we're going to bring back like a month from now. And but we've done it before on this show, and it seems to generate some positive feedback from you guys, and we enjoy doing them because they're just fun. So we're bringing back the Would You Rathers as a recurring segment, and we're going to do some now. So Ryan,
Let's hear it.
would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or be able to read minds?
I think teleport anywhere, because I would love to just vacation whenever I want. But reading minds would definitely just fuck with me too much, because then I would be overly probably insecure, because you'd hear everything people think about you. If you look like an idiot on the train, you're gonna hear that guy say, "Oh, he looks like a fucking idiot," and then you're gonna feel terrible. If I just teleport, no worries. big picture stuff.
See, when you teleport, like, you're never gonna be late for anything.
Yeah.
Like, you could show up like that on the spot.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
And that's great and it's fantastic. Like, you could like sleep in literally until like a minute before your class and then just teleport to it. But I love to read minds, dude. I'd love to like hear people just talk shit about me like without actually saying it and be like, "Oh yeah, guy, you think I'm eating too much of the shrimp? Well, guess what? The jerk store called and they're running out of you."
You'd only use it to quote Seinfeld.
Yeah.
That I guess you could use it to help your life too. You could probably gain some things from it.
Yeah, like, I mean, you're on a date with a girl and you read her mind and she's like, "Why isn't he asking me about my like necklace that my grandma gave you?"
It's a beautiful necklace. Is that an antique?
And then you say, "Oh, what a wonderful necklace. Did your grandma give that to you?" And she goes, and then you hear her mind speak again. "Oh my God, how did he know that?" And then I use like legitimacy from Harry Potter, and I go like, "I'm in your mind," and then she loses her mind, and then we never go out on a date again because she goes to an insane asylum.
And that's where I clean up.
Yeah. I love picking up women at the insane asylum.
Oh man,
those are the best kind.
But yeah, anytime there's like flying or like a teleporting thing, I'm always on that because I just want vacations.
Oh.
You could just get free airfare, man. Oh, it'd be great.
Oh, do you think there's like you could ever get like splinched? Do you think you could like leave some of you like behind you?
Are you saying like I teleport into a wall and my arm gets cut off or something?
Or you like teleport and you're not focusing all that hard and you like leave your arm on the west side of Chicago?
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
I know.
If I found out I had those powers, I'd definitely try and train myself to not make that happen, but that's a risk.
Yeah.
That's a risk and it's scary. What's the next one?
Would you rather be feared by all or loved by all?
Loved by all. I don't want to be scary. I already try to not be scary, but I'm not really intimidating in the first place. I like to put on a good presence, but like, what negative is there of being loved by all? You know?
People kiss your ass.
If you're loved by all?
Yeah. I mean, like, you just have strangers coming up to you on the street and, like, you know, like, kissing your ass. People would all want to be in your inner circle. Like...
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. That's the
like,
double-edged.
this is, like, to the point to where, like, you know, if you're loved by everyone, you're literally looked to as, like, the hope of humanity.
They're all like, have dinner with me!
Like, I mean, like, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, nobody's really universally loved. Like, there are people out there who, like, hate Elvis.
That's messed up.
I know. But there are people out there because, you know, like, not everybody's going to like you, you know? It just kind of suck if everybody did.
So why would you do feared by all then?
Because then, like, you know, you just kind of have a one-up on everybody.
I guess.
And I don't have to worry, you know, and then, like, I don't know, like, I don't need my, like, family or friends fearing me, I think. Would they count in this situation?
Everybody.
Shit.
All. They would fear you.
Well, I don't like either of these options.
Would you rather your mom gives you a sandwich because she's like, "Oh, here, Dan, you're the best. Here's a sandwich." Or she's like, "Take the sandwich. Here's a sandwich, Dan. You like sandwiches?" You know?
Well, if I was feared by all and I just had the Imperial March playing all the time, I'd feel like I'd know what Darth Vader feels like half the time.
And you could wave people over when you're walking down the street like Darth Vader. I'd probably just become Darth Vader if I was going to choose the feared one.
Yeah. So there we go. There's the positive to being feared by all, is you could just be Darth Vader without being a Sith Lord. Without all the powers of being a Sith Lord.
I like the sound of that.
But if you're loved by all, like, yeah, it's good, but then, like, I mean, you travel to fucking...
What?
I'm just trying to find a place that, like, hates everybody. And everybody loves you there. Like, you go to Detroit, and, like, everybody just loves you. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Oh, wait, Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't want to look forward to, like, going to Detroit because I know people are going to like me there. Like, I want to be hated in Detroit.
I don't want to be in Detroit. That's the first problem. One time, I I was driving to a lake house after a concert I was in downtown Chicago, and I drove through the night to a lake house in Michigan, and on Lake Michigan, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's on the Upper Peninsula, so I had to go through Indiana from Chicago, and I took a wrong turn at some point, and it was like pitch black, and I ended up in Gary, Indiana.
Oh,
And
well, that's not that far from our house, like at
but
home.
from downtown Chicago and the route I was taking.
Oh,
it was
that's
a bit,
about like an hour.
But it was
yeah.
it was on the drive, right? And I ended up in Gary, Indiana, a town, for those that don't know, with a very bad reputation. It's a city, and it actually
Just
looked
a bunch of smokestacks and factories and whatnot. Right?
yeah, but it looked like a post-apocalyptic city. Like everything had already gone wrong, and it was just me in my car, and I was just like afraid. Bad place to end up, especially in the middle of the night. But I got out of there.
Kind of like, isn't Hartford, Connecticut like that?
I don't know. I don't know too much about Connecticut. Is it just that all this shit's just gone wrong and it's broke?
I think it's just a factory town.
Okay. This didn't seem like anyone was working in the town I was in.
Oh, shit.
Everyone's just eating each other. What's the next one?
Would you rather be transported permanently 500 years into the future or 500 years into the past?
Okay. 500 years into the past. So this is 16th century.
Yeah.
I did the math. I don't know if I can even, like, would anyone speak English?
Yeah, England,
Anybody.
England.
But it's kind of like, okay,
Shakespearean.
there's all that.
Or pre-Shakespearean.
I could maybe get along there, but that's no fun. And I would miss, like, plumbing and the internet.
I'd love to take a shit in the street.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
But Dan, you're a big proponent of, like, getting a good wipe. How are you going to get a good wipe there, Dan?
Leaves.
Perhaps.
There are so many more leaves 500 years in the past. Like, I mean, people weren't making paper out of trees yet.
It'd be so exciting to have gone 500 years in the past because there's so much different things going on, and I certainly don't, but like you might know what's happening.
You just
then.
execute people.
Yeah, maybe. But so much of the good parts I can't go to because I can't speak their language. That's out. I can't learn it.
Was that the Dark Ages?
I don't know enough about history. I'm sorry. But like anywhere in the world, it's definitely a different and less quality of living than we have now.
Well, this is like the 1500s.
Yeah.
So Britain is in power. America hasn't been discovered yet. No, yes, it has. 1492.
No.
So America's been discovered.
Would you just go over there?
People, yeah.
You go to Boston?
Yeah. I could discover America, like, or I could, like, lead the revolution, like, 200 years before it happened.
Get them to California early. Make the capital over there.
And then try not to rape and pillage the Native Americans.
Yeah, if we could leave them, I really wonder what would happen to us. But I think I'm going to go future, and I would be scared what would be our future, but
What if you just teleport and there's nothing there?
the planet's gone?
Yeah.
I'd be scared. I would wonder where it went. I don't know. But I would go there.
Do you think they'd provide you with, like, a spacesuit if they knew there was nothing there? Like, whoever the people are that, like, are sending you?
The lab, the portal would have oxygen tanks. And let's think the shitty Tim Burton Planet of the Apes, like where he's in a space pod. He's an astronaut.
And he goes, yo, dude, what the fuck's going on here? We're in a planet of apes.
Mark Wahlberg. God, that movie was terrible.
My uncle was his parole officer.
Really?
Yeah, and now my uncle started this program in Boston called the Nightlight Initiative.
What is that?
And it's like probation officers have set a curfew in Boston, and instead of sending people to jail for a bunch of years, they are just active in their community with their probation officers, and they, it's shown very positive effects.
That sounds useful.
Yeah, my uncle's trying to get it like in other cities in America, and he's trying to promote. Somebody made like a small documentary piece about my uncle in the Nightlight Initiative, and he's trying to sell it to like TV so to get like national awareness of it, to try and spark some more national light on nightlight.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
You have like so many family members in different like crazy, like you have an uncle who's a talent agent. You have this uncle who's got the nightlight initiative. Man, you got everybody in your family.
And we do a podcast. But that's cool. What were we talking about?
Just do the next would you rather if you got one.
Yeah. I think I'd go 500 years into the past because we know what happened. And 500 years in the future, I don't even know if we have 100 years.
It's so uncertain.
Left. Yeah. So,
What you got?
A really stupid one. So
we could just
skip it.
We could just end the segment if you got nothing.
Let's do one more.
Okay. Dan is wearing Red Sox apparel today. You a big Red Sox guy?
Huge Red Sox guy.
That's the number one baseball team for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm drinking out of a White Sox cup.
The White Sox are so bad now.
They have the best farming system in the MLB. They're going to be World Series champions in a couple of years.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, what's our next would you rather?
Can we do two more?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go back to the age of 5 with everything you know now, or know now everything your future self will learn?
Oh, man.
I know.
Oh, age of 5, though. Hands down. Because, like, is it a full temporal reset where I go back to age 5 in 2000, whatever, 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
and you're aware.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll know which people will, like, hurt you. You know which people, like, you're close with.
Oh, absolutely.
You know which people you're going to want to be friends with and whatnot.
But
that could drastically alter your life.
Yeah, but I would know the negative parts to avoid, and I would still have the things I learned from the times I got burned, So
yeah, but it's like if I went back to the age of 5 and I know not to go sledding in January of 2006, I never break my leg. And like I know that's like a good thing, but like then I'd be afraid to like never go sledding again because I haven't gone sledding since January 2006 because I broke my leg. So, but a kid has to go sledding.
Yeah, but
sledding's fun.
You're saying you remember the things from age 5 from your last life?
What?
You're saying you go back to age 5, right? But are you remembering everything that you had in this life right now from age 5 on?
Yeah, because it's still your life.
Okay.
You're just 5 years.
That's all
you're
I
just
need
5
to know.
years old. Yeah.
You'd still have the positive experiences from the things you tried and all that. I mean, your sledding case is very
like you're
individual.
You're 5 and you have the intelligence of a college student.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah, but like you're sitting in fucking school and you're smarter than everybody. You're probably just as intelligent as like your grade school teacher.
I would have such a better foundation to be able to improve things. I would be in like a better place by the time I get to this age. I would
I'm such a cynic now too. Like I know like I'd have a lot of smart and wise things to be at 5 years old. Mm-hmm. But like I get to the age of 10 and I hate everybody and hate everything because I know I'm smarter than them. That'd suck.
Like that's just because you're an asshole. No. It's like
everybody would be, but imagine if you're 5 and you're smart and nobody knows and nobody wants to respect you because you're 5.
You could deal with it. You have the maturity of a 20-year-old.
Well,
pay your dues.
I know.
You could do your own things.
All right, then let me be.
You just wouldn't be able to drive.
So let me give the other. I think I'd go with the other one. I wouldn't want to be 5 and be smart because I feel like maybe some people would be like, want to like take advantage of your like wisdom.
I getcha.
So if you're like a super genius 5-year-old and you have like the intelligence of like, of a 20-year-old, then. So here's the other side here. I would want to know everything of my future, so I'd know how everything plays out. So like, which is kind of a shitty thing to do, like to have your life predetermined. It's like you put in a cheat code for your life, and you like know how to beat a game, and you're invincible. Because like like how you could know like who's gonna stop talking to you, who you're still gonna be friends with, like who's gonna like die.
That's upsetting.
Like how like President Trump's like whole fucking thing works out, and whether or not the wall gets built, and you go into class and like I go into journalism class and there are some pompous kids in our class like, oh, like maybe you made it, and I just go like, that's not true. That's not gonna happen. Like, and I feel like I could use it to my advantage, but then again, like it's a matter of me being an asshole and like wanting to prove people wrong. But like I'd want to know like who is like unnecessary for my life.
I see.
Like I want to be able to like it all comes back to this. It all comes back to the women. So I'd want to like be able to like go out into a social situation and be like, oh, well, I know this girl's gonna be my wife. So you just start talking to her.
That'd be a lot of pressure.
No, because it'd work out somehow.
So this is predetermined for you. This future you see, nothing can be changed.
No, well, no. It's just like a guide. So you have all the information from the future, and you just have to kind of color in the lines, which is kind of a shitty way to live.
I don't want to live like that.
I know.
I'm going back. Because I mean, what is ages 5 to 20? Nah.
They don't mean anything. But that's the thing. I'd have the knowledge to know that fucking like fraction and dividend tables or whatever in fucking 4th grade don't mean dick. So I wouldn't want to do them.
It doesn't mean dick to your current life, but you would have a sort. I can't do long division very well by myself right now, but if I went back and relearned it, knowing everything I do know now, I can be a slightly advanced adult. I'm not saying I'm a genius.
I cried the day we learned divisibles in 4th grade because I didn't get
sucks.
it. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's so easy." I'm like, I cried.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't cry at school. I came home and I cried.
It's so
to
bad.
my mom because I didn't know. I didn't get it.
And now, are you starting to forget it now that it's not relevant to our lives?
Well, I know that 9 is divisible by 3.
Okay, we got that.
Yeah.
That's good. But man,
But at the time, I didn't.
is math fading from you like Spanish is? You took Spanish courses.
Spanish isn't really fading from me. It's kind of like when I hear Spanish, I understand it. Conversationally, it'll take me a while to bring back the words, but I get them. Mm-hmm. Math is fading from me fast.
I was faded even in high school from math. It was just chapter by chapter.
Math, well, except for geometry. Fuck geometry to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, like, fuck that. And then, but like in high school in math, I was good. And then in college, I put off math. I tested out of math, but then I didn't like take the right procedure to like get out of it again and stay out of it. Mm-hmm. So then I had to take college algebra like last year, and I dominated that class. Like,
good.
It was algebra.
Yeah.
It was so easy. Like, I never raised my hand to talk in that class because I was almost like, because there were kids who like were legitimately asking questions and didn't understand. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so much smarter than you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's good that you didn't say that.
I know. Yeah. So I just sat in the back, like didn't say anything, and like, I like one time I even corrected the teacher.
Damn.
Yeah.
You pulled that move?
I didn't. It was the first time I ever spoke, and like I knew she was wrong, so I was just like I didn't want all those kids to be wrong.
It's fair.
But I didn't like say it in an asshole way. I'm like, aren't you supposed to like multiply by 4 up there or whatever? And it was just, and she's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then you hear the class go like, oh. All right, last one, and this is a very like Twilight Zone, Black Mirror, fucked up situation.
Okay,
like,
let's
this
hear it.
is like basically like, would you rather lose your mind or like fuck? Okay, so listen to this. Would you rather relive the same day for 365 days or lose a year of your life? So you go to, like, I view it that way, like, not like, oh, instead of living to 87, I'm going to live to 86. Well, who gives a shit? This is like you go to bed one night and you wake up a year later.
Oh, man. Okay. Now, let me ask you, let's set some ground rules. You're the rule master here.
Okay.
In this Groundhog Day scenario where I have a full year of living the same one, when I finally come out of that 365 loop, am I aged a year or is it simply the next day?
It's the next day.
Okay. Doing that hands down.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm imagining it just like Groundhog Day. So like even if you try to kill yourself, you wake up again in your bed.
I'd get a year just off. A year off where I could it would almost be insane at first because like you'd really have to try not to go insane, but I would use the sort of thing that you see in all the survivor situations like in Castaway, even though it's fictional. If you just keep busy with things, you can kind of keep it together. Now, like in the movie Groundhog Day, it was insinuated that he was there for hundreds or thousands of years, and so he was going insane. And that's true. It was in the screenplay and all that. Now, I'm only in there for a year. I think I could keep it together with different tasks. I could probably self-teach an instrument. I could do a lot of things. I would do the whole thing where he gypped off the piano teacher. He said, I'll give you $1,000 tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes, and she just teaches me every day, you know? There'd be a lot of, I could hone some skills and kind of just get my stuff together, clean my room. Oh, no, it would be the same. I wouldn't clean my room then. But what would you do?
Just in the overall would you rather, or what would I do if I chose?
Let's do both.
Okay. So if I chose the everyday, I don't know, like it'd suck if I had to take like a test every day. Like if it was like the day of a test.
You don't need to do it though. You just don't need to go.
I know, but what if I forget that I'm on day 364 and I fuck the test up and then I
You need to keep that together.
and then I wake up the next day like fuck, I fucked that test up.
Okay.
So I'd really have to like make sure I know. But what I do, I guess I'd really have to try to like keep it all together, but I could use that to my advantage as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'd go interact with like a different person every day, I think.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, because I know I wouldn't have any consequences for it. So I'd like go and interact with a different person every day. I do very bold and outlandish things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like walk up to a 10 and just be like, hello.
That's it?
Yeah. It's like, hello, I'm a 6 on a good day. I'm kind of fat. You want to go grab a burger or something? and you say it just like that, and she says no. But I know I can try again tomorrow.
Maybe if you said burger more like a normal person. Oh, you want to grab a burger or something? If you said it like a regular person, maybe she'd go out with you.
Like, you want to go grab a burger or something?
Would you like to grab a burger?
Maybe a burger and a couple of Cokes.
That'll go great.
Yeah.
Use that next time you're asking somebody out.
All right, so... yeah, I don't know which one's more fucked up because the other one,
lose a year. Oh.
You go to bed tonight, and then it's Black Friday next year.
No,
imagine that.
I don't trust myself.
Oh, man, like, and everybody, like, apparently, like, you were on autopilot for that year too.
But you would like act how you normally would in these situations, yeah.
Yeah, but you just wouldn't know where the fuck you're at.
Oh God, I wake up in like Tijuana. Got a full beard. My life's in ruins.
Like wake up in a year and like some of your like family members are dead or something like that.
They're
like,
all dead. You don't know what happened.
Oh, and you gotta like go out into the street and then it's like Back to the Future and it's just like 2018. and then you go, Doc, what happened? And then he goes, "What? Who are you? I don't know." and then he goes, "Who's the president in 2017?" And you go, "Ronald Reagan." He goes, "Ronald Reagan, the actor?" I'm like, "This is a year in the future. Why? Why did you not know who the president was last year?" I guess since it's just a year, Groundhog Day doesn't seem that bad.
No, if it were 1,000, I would never have done it. But a year, that's manageable. The only thing is you wouldn't...
just have to keep your mind.
Yeah,
you just have to know.
The test problem that you mentioned, I think the number one business would be studying for like 3 days. So you make sure every day you ace that test.
No, because even if you like kept yourself like a calendar or something like that...
you'd have to count it mentally.
To know how many days there are?
Yeah.
the calendar would go back to the same it was the day before. So you'd have to like get tattoos on your skin, like fucking
That won't stay. Like in Memento,
yeah.
right? Is that what you're thinking of, the Christopher Nolan movie?
Yeah, but that wouldn't stay either.
No. You'd have to keep a mental count, but you probably would lose count. I can't even keep count in normal time. Right. So that's not.
Because you
no
wake
chance.
up the next day and you're just like, is it 21 or 22?
Yeah, you'd have to ace that test every day.
Yeah.
You just need to make sure. Or just don't go.
That would suck.
It's one exam. You were caught in a temporal loop for a year. I think maybe you could email your professor about that.
Be like, hi, I'm living the same day over and over again. Can I just take that test as like a no grade?
I'll really just forfeit that one. I don't care if it gets me down to a letter grade. I had a rough year.
Right.
That's a good one, though. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, that was Would You Rathers.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
And again, here we are 2 weeks in a row without Mike, so I would have loved to hear his input on it. But we'll hear it next month because Would You Rathers is now going to be a recurring segment on the show. If you listeners have any Would You Rathers that you want us to answer, or you want to tell us what you'd do if you'd wake up 365 days in a row in the same year, or you'd go to sleep one night and you wake up a year later, or any of the other Would You Rathers that we answered, please let us know, and because we want to be more interactive hosts.
Yes.
But for now, Ryan, we saw a movie today.
That's right. We did see a movie just now before this. We saw Coco. It's a Disney Pixar feature film.
Disney Pixar's I'm in Love with the Coco.
Yeah.
Also known as Disney Pixar's Cocaine. Also known as Eric Clapton's Cocaine.
But it's actually called Coco, and it's directed by Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina. It's about an aspiring musician named Miguel who is confronted by his family's ancestral ban on music, and he enters the land of the dead to work out the mystery. And it stars Anthony Gonzalez, Gael Garcia Bernal, Benjamin Brett, and we've got Alana Ubach and Renee Victor.
Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger is in this.
You had me at hello.
Dan, why don't you jump right into the positives?
This movie was really cute. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely the best Pixar movie of this year. It was way better than Cars 3 in my opinion. And not only did it, in Spanish class, like growing up in high school and in the Spanish classes I've taken in college, learning about the Day of the Dead, it was always fun to learn about, but to actually see the culture brought out in this movie and actually have a Pixar movie about it was really cool, because now indirectly people are learning more about the Day of the Dead and getting a weird perspective on it from the viewpoint of the dead. I thought it was really just a culturally well done film by Pixar. The characters were good. I enjoyed, the interactions between the characters. The story was good, and it was a really cute Pixar movie. Pixar kind of did well once again by telling a family story and with a moving element beside it. And in the end, Disney can't get away with making a film about dead relatives, can they?
No, they can't.
So, it's good. It's good. There were no really Toy Story 3 is the only film I've ever cried at, and that's a Pixar movie. Finding Nemo, I get choked up when Marlin and Dory are in the mouth of the whale, and Marlin starts crying. Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's sad for you. They elicited emotion. Yeah.
This one didn't necessarily make me sad, but it did make me very happy. It was a kind of an uplifting movie. It was a good movie to see on this Thanksgiving break, as we're kind of wrapping up Thanksgiving break. I enjoyed our trip to the movie theater today to see that movie. And I know our grades might be a little high, because the last movie we saw on the same day we reviewed a movie was Atomic Blonde, and I had to retract the original score I gave it. But I think Coco's different. I think it's just an enjoyable film that I might be able to give an accurate score to here in a second after you give your positives and we go about our negatives. What are your positives of this film?
Sure. It was a fun voice cast. I really enjoyed everybody. Pixar yet again has made an animated wonderful film in which there's always attention to detail. everything is synced up just perfectly from the mouths of the voice actors to the actual instruments that are played in the film. They even synced up real live instrument playing, so every note that they play, every drum that is hit is completely accurate to if it were being played live. And if you keep an eye out for other things, there's just a lot of attention to detail that makes me love Pixar, and it's really something you should see in the movies because you won't catch every detail when you're watching it at home, renting it, or on demand, or whatever. This was a fun movie because a lot of times with kids' movies, they're oftentimes predictable. You know the routes that the characters will go down. But this was very original. I was caught by the twists and turns of the movie. It was a fun plot. Good time.
Yeah.
It was a consistent tone, and it was just what I needed after seeing Justice League last week.
Right.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very cute.
Do you have any negatives?
The Frozen short film.
But that's not the movie.
I know,
All right.
but it's part of the experience. Because genuinely, I mean, Coco didn't. I don't know if I have any like glaring negatives with it. It was enjoyable, but my negatives come with the experience of us seeing the film. And right before Coco, there's a short film by Walt Disney Animation Studios. It's like Olaf's Frozen Adventure, and it's kind of like a sequel to Frozen. But usually Pixar does these shorts. I mean, before Cars 3, there was Lou. And that was the best part of Cars 3 because that was a great Pixar short. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some of the ones you think of in the past, like the birds and Day and Night and like the little alien one. And remember the rabbit and the magician and like the magical hat and the rabbit just wants a carrot. And I don't know.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, and this one wasn't a Pixar animated one. This one was just Disney selling more Frozen.
Yeah.
And it dragged. It was a half an hour long short, which really isn't short.
It was really a half hour?
Yeah. I checked my phone right after it ended, and it was 1:30, and we saw a 1 o'clock show.
Oh, no.
Like, there weren't really any trailers. The trailers started for the movie at about 12:50. The Frozen thing started at 1 o'clock, and it was 1:30 on the dot when it stopped. Way too long. There were like 7 songs jammed into it, and I was never a big Frozen fan to begin with, and this was just torture.
Jesus.
And then, I'm not gonna not mention it. Like, it was just kind of like Cars 3 earlier this summer, where there were some like kids in the audience of the movie theater we saw it in, which I think they were too young to be in the movie theater. Like, there were multiple times throughout the movie where a mom had to go chasing her daughter down the aisle to pick her up, and then there was yelling, and at one point the daughter stood up and was hitting our chairs.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just not good. I think those kids are too young to see the movie, and I know it's like a good distraction. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a parent, but I mean, you can go back and listen to our Cars 3 review, and I was saying the same thing. Like, I remember seeing Toy Story 2 when I was 2 years old, and I didn't behave like that in a theater. And my mother can attest to that. So,
But what about the film itself?
don't have any negatives for Coco. It was really enjoyable, cute film. What do you think?
I mean, it's hard because we did just see it today.
I know, and we're right when you see a movie, you're just trying to pull all the positives out of it. So I didn't, but
honestly, I can't say any problems I had with it. It was a fun time. Go see it if you got kids, or even if you just want to watch a kids movie.
But not if the kids are like 3 or younger.
Yeah, or at least have good kids if you're gonna bring them to the theaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you scoring this at, Dan?
I'm gonna give it a 3.8.
Right.
It's just very enjoyable kids film. Not Pixar's best, but it's certainly not the worst. Really cute film. I enjoyed it. And it definitely kicks out Cars 3 as the Pixar movie of the year, because Cars 3 was ended up being a disaster. Now that I think back on it, I didn't enjoy it as much as I did when I saw it. So, Coco. Good Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 3.8 Goldblums on the Goldblum scale.
I'm gonna give it a hard 3.5 on the Goldblum scale. It's a good time. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Where would Jeff Goldblum have fit into this Dia de los Muertos animated film?
I don't know, but he like would be a great skeleton.
I feel like he's very skinny. I feel like
he's a thin dude.
Yeah.
He's
It would have been
good,
funny if like he put on like no, he wouldn't have put on like a Hispanic accent. And he was just like,
just regular.
we need to get Miguel back to the land of the living.
Well, our main topic today.
Hold on, we didn't average that out.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably like a 3.65. But let's.
In the tradition of the Dia de los Muertos in Mexico, one of the things that each family sets out is sort of a shrine.
It's exactly a 3.65.
It's a 3.65.
It looks like I'm not losing my math skills at all.
Well, let me get this intro.
All right, sorry.
In the tradition of Dia de los Muertos, each family sets out a sort of shrine to their family members who have passed, and it's called an ofrenda. And at each of these, they have a nice little picture. They've got candles. They sort of decorate this, and it's dedicated to your family members. And you sort of put a little memento or something that reminds them of, or reminds you of them in front of this picture. And the question I want to ask today is, what would be on your ofrenda, Dan? Your family's going to remember you. What are they going to put in front of that smiling old Dan face?
I just want people to remember the laughter rain. I feel like, I always do my best to try and, make people laugh and, just kind of lighten up situations with comedy. And, doing like being funny, but then like also like, compassion and whatnot. I just hope people remember me for like being a guy who can make you laugh, but also wants to like, hear your problems and be there for you when you need me. And so like, I hope people put I don't know, maybe like those clackery Joker teeth that he always puts down for Batman. But it has like a heart attached to it.
Like in the mouth?
I don't know. Just somewhere, so it can have both comedy and laugh, or comedy and like compassion, all in the same like object.
That's cute.
Or can I just have two objects on my ofrenda?
Sure, yeah, it's your ofrenda.
Okay, so maybe just the chattery teeth, and then the like a heart,
like a lamb heart, right?
Yes, and then the blood, and then the blood is, I don't know. What do the Jews do? They wipe it over the door and make sure that the angel of death doesn't come over to their house. And
I'm not entirely familiar, but I
eat their snacks.
Yeah, there's a lamb, there's a lamb's blood involved with your door during the Sabbath or something.
Yeah, Passover, and they want the angel of death to pass over their house so that it doesn't kill their child or whatever.
So you're gonna have a really Jewish ofrenda then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so I just want people to remember me for being a compassionate guy. He's there for you, but also makes you laugh. Can also make you uncomfortable by saying John Wayne Gacy jokes earlier in this episode.
They'll let that slide.
What would be on your ofrenda?
Ofrenda.
Eduardo de la Cruz.
It's amazing hearing these with the mic too.
Ofrenda.
A lot of times, at least what we learned about it when I took Spanish in high school, like a lot of times they would put like their favorite booze or their favorite food on their ofrenda or their gravestone. And I think that the two things that like define me in a culinary sense are peanut butter and eggs.
Yeah.
And so I want them to put peanut butter and eggs, not mixed together, but like a jar of natural Jif, the best kind of peanut butter. And, just any eggs, cooked or raw, cracked or whole, whatever. You just put those on there, and my dead soul come and just eat those up, put like the peanut butter on a tortilla, just gobble that up. It'll be a great time, and I'll be thankful. What are you giggling about?
Dude, I just wouldn't want somebody to like fucking come to my grave and just put like a Euro plate down. It's like, oh, Danny, we miss you, you fat son of a bitch. Here,
and birds come and shit on it.
Take some Euros in the afterlife.
That'd go a long way. You can't eat anything when you're a skeleton. One thing.
All my Irish ancestors would be back in like the land of the dead, like with their fucking like beer and whiskey and
Yeah.
fucking potatoes, and I'm coming back with euros, and they just fucking rip on me and like make fun of me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You know, Pixar is known for their attention to detail, and in Disney's Coco, a 2017 film, the skeletons drank like tequila, and they just like gulped it. Pixar are people that are known for explaining their things. This didn't just go through their face. They drank this tequila. Or am I just being an asshole?
Shit. No.
Because he gulped. He has no esophagus, and he drank tequila.
They're also eating sweetbread.
Yeah. I don't know.
This movie's bullshit. It sucks.
I'm giving this a 1.
This a 1.
Creatively challenged. Hate this movie. We're boycotting.
I just kind of like that there was alcohol in it, like a Disney movie.
That was pretty tight.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be a big thing.
But tequila is like big part of like Mexican tradition.
Is it?
Yeah. Like it's not just for like white girls in college. Like they do take shots of tequila at people's like funerals.
That's cool.
And stuff down in Mexico.
I saw a cool little featurette on the different graves they have. I like how we're already going back to Coco. I saw a cool featurette they have on for the grave sites of drug lords who were killed. They had so much money that the families get these lavish mausoleums for them. You're familiar with the mausoleum. It's a big room where they hold your body and stuff. Like in the movie,
Yeah.
Ernesto de la Cruz had a mausoleum. It's like a room.
Yeah.
And so the ones for these fallen drug lords, they basically turn into like small condos. Like they have doorbells and like doors and stuff, and they look like small little beach houses because these guys just get crazy rich, and then when they're dead, because that's what happens to all of them, they just get these amazing like condo mausoleums, and it's just ridiculous. I want to be buried in one of those. Put me on a couch.
I just want to be buried in a hole.
No casket? They just
it's gonna be a
toss it?
casket.
Okay.
It's gonna be in either, like Oakland, Illinois, or like Boston, Massachusetts. We've got land in both places.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We already talked about this. We already talked about whether or not we want to be buried or cremated. And you brought up that I got asked this question again the other day by Ashley. She was like, Ashley is a friend of ours and a listener of this podcast. She's like, oh, what would you rather do? And I told her that you were like, there's this Doctor Who episode where like the people who got cremated like fucking burning for eternity, like, and they just feel like that fucks me up. So I just want to be buried more than ever now.
I still want to be cremated because I know that won't happen. Hopefully, it could.
What if it does?
If it does,
I'm not even gonna fucking risk it.
I'll give you a phone call. Just be like, "Hey, Dan, you were right."
We're in the land of the dead. You're calling up my Ofrenda, and I'm eating fucking euros and listening to my family calling me a fat son of a bitch.
Your family's gonna put a euro bleed on your grave.
Yeah, I guess next to the chattering teeth.
Oh yeah.
And then and then I'm gonna get a phone call because I'm gonna get on my hell phone. Get it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Then because hell rhymes with cell phone. Get it, listeners? Yeah. Okay. You're gonna give me a call and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Ray, what's going on? I'm dead." And you go, "Hey, I know. I'm burning for eternity because I chose to get fucking cremated."
I'm gonna give you a Skype call on my Kindle Fire. Now I gotta go jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
After that one,
And
but
then and then I can put some eggs and peanut butter on your remembrance of Ofrenda on the Day of the Dead next year.
thanks.
Yeah.
I do like the way they sort of celebrate death there in Mexico, though. I don't know that it's really as huge as our Spanish clashes painted it, but I think it's better that you look at death in a happy sort of way than like it's all despair. It's the way we celebrate it here.
Yeah, no, it's almost become Americanized down
What's
there.
about now that we made a Disney movie, it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, I mean, after what's the James Bond movie that opened up on the Day of the Dead? Like the most.
Was it a recent one?
Spectre. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
Spectre.
Yeah, it was Spectre.
And since then, like there was no big parade in Mexico City, but in the movie there is. And now since Spectre's come out, it's been out for like 2 years now. They've had a Day of the Dead parade
That's
in
for sure?
Mexico City. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really? Like there wasn't before? Oh. That's weird.
Yeah. So
Well, the British did that actually, so because he's, MI. MI6.
No, I know, but like now, I feel like just the huge party and everything like that. But you're right. I mean, they just have a positive outlook
It's way better.
on remembrance and everything like that. And,
Yeah.
I mean, a day every year to remember everybody. That's cool.
Yeah, I wish death weren't as sad. I mean, it's always gonna be sad, but like just to be like, hey man, we'll put some euros out. You'll be good.
I know.
I could chill with some euros.
It's like, hey man, got your favorite Euro plate.
It'll be good.
Took off the onions. Took off the tomato.
You don't have them like that. You just eat the meat and the pita.
And the tzatziki sauce.
You put that in. Okay, at least.
Yeah. I just like usually the onions are just like fucking dripping with whatever they're dripping with, and they're like so they're not crunchy onions, they're like wet onions, and when you bite into them, you're like.
I know what you're
like
saying.
Pulling them out, and I'm just not a big tomato guy, so I'd never put tomatoes on them. Sometimes I do with the onions.
They never help anybody's breath having a euro, and the onions already making it worse.
I know, and because they're wet or whatever, however they prepare.
You just had some weird euros. I know what you're talking about. I had that on a few things.
I had a euro from Pops the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good place. It's a Chicago institution.
Pops Italian beef.
Yeah.
A kid I went to grade school with, his dad, is like a bigger up in the Pops thing, and he helped start it or something.
Bigger up in the Pops thing, huh?
Yeah.
That's neat.
I know.
That's neat. Well, Dan, that's Ofrendas.
Ofrendas. Eduardo de la Cruz.
You're a friend of mine.
Oh.
You got Ofrenda in me. Keeping it in the Disney Pixar family. You want to get in a car together and drive off the bridge? Because I mean, we're both
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, that'd be good. Listeners, you can find us at the bottom of the river on Facebook and Twitter. We won't be here next week.
You're a good Ofrenda.
This is ridiculous. But we got everything we need here.
Do we? This was a podcast?
This was we made it the regular time.
Shit. Yeah, holy fuck. This is a podcast. So we appreciate you guys listening once again. I can't say it enough every week. I'm going to thank you guys, tell you guys we love you, because it's great that we get listeners. But I would love to see some more interaction. We started these recurring segments because we want to, bring more randomness to our $34 card table. Although we're not at the $34 card table.
We're at a bar.
Yeah. So, but we wanna be interactive with you guys, and it'd be great if we heard some feedback. If not, we're gonna keep coming up with random topics and shit that we hope you guys enjoy. And so, with that, please interact with us on our social media, and we love you. And we'll see you next week. And what movie are we seeing next week?
I don't know.
Is it that fucking Guillermo del Toro?
Oh, The Shape of Water.
Is that it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That might be it.
We're like 2 weeks away from Star Wars.
Yeah. So we got that. We
like 2.5 weeks from Star Wars.
We need fan interaction because we ourselves are creatively starved and are devoid of anything original. I'm dying on the inside. 1 like equals 1 foot deeper in the river at the bottom of the bridge.
That's right.
Bury us all the way at the bed of the river. Please like, please subscribe. And that is this week's podcast. So remember that each and every Monday morning we are uploading to YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. We're going to have links for those on our Facebook and Twitter page, which will be in the description. And as always, thank you for listening.
Love you guys.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us.